I believe that we have more or less, at least some of the people have joined. The video should be uploaded on YouTube as well, so you will be able to if someone is not able to watch it here, like maybe you can watch it later as well, so it won't be an issue. For now, I'll be starting a webinar. Okay, so first let me guys introduce myself. My name is Eva. I work at QuadCode, and I help people start brokerages, to be very brief. And today I wanted to talk about some of the more important mistakes that people tend to make, and what you should be avoided. Actually, one of my most favorite people that I like to follow, or used to like to follow, actually, Charlie Munger, used to say that invert, always invert, right? So what does it mean is that people tend to be extremely good at identifying mistakes and bad things because of the way we evolved. So we are extremely good at identifying things that we should avoid. And it could be actually useful in the business as well to identify the mistakes that we should actually avoid and then switch those. And we can actually get a formula that can make us successful and our business successful, right? So this is the idea behind the 5 mistakes to avoid, that we can avoid those mistakes, but what we can actually do, right? Okay, let's get started. So let's start from the brokerage company structure. There are many things to be said here, but in order to speak about the brokerage or the mistakes that we should avoid, we should have a basic idea of what the brokerage structure typically looks like, right? So we'll have a few things. We will have a trade room or a trading platform, right? So what does it consist of? We have a trade room where people actually come. This is our main offering, where people actually come, open positions, trade. So this is our main offering. All of us actually know what is going on there. But then besides that, we have a lot of other things to have and to manage. Most importantly, we have to have a backend that is going to support the front end, right? Where the people will be able to trade. So we'll have different servers where we will be getting, for example, the price sheets from other companies. And we also have to have a team that will be managing the platform itself, right? So many things to be considered, and we'll get into those as we go, and we'll discuss them maybe step by step. But for now, we have to think that, okay, we have a trading platform, we have a backend which actually manages it. We have a team that is in between those two platforms, and we actually get the right information out of, for example, from backend that is provided, and from the user experience, right? From what they are actually doing on the platform. Now, let's think about the main challenges of running a brokerage based off of those things. So we might make mistakes in different sections. So there could be operational, regulational, technology, and finance. What does that mean? So on the operation side, we have people. So we have different teams that are going to manage the platform. Now, for example, it could be a dealing desk team. These guys are going to ensure that the platform is profitable. They will set the conditions. They will maintain the platform. Check for abusers, cheaters, those kind of things, and they will just ensure, this is one of the most important things. They will ensure that the platform is profitable. They should. And then we have, for example, staff hiring for different things. We might need different developers for developing new features, for maintaining the platform. Then we have customer support that is actually very engaging and is always responsive, right? And then we also have a marketing part. On the regulation side, what is challenging there? What could be the challenging? So on the operation, we might struggle to find those people. Because especially from the top to bottom, if you look at it, the dealing desk people, or the people who are extremely well versed and knowledgeable in the field, can be extremely hard to find, because everybody technically wants to have them, right? Because they are the ones that, if you provide them with the right tools, they're going to make you a lot of money. So they're hardest to find. But then we move to the, for example, regulation side. So based on the regions that we want to operate, we will have to face different regulational challenges that we have to navigate properly. So we are actually abiding the law, and we are not making any mistakes, and we are not going to get close because, for example, we just missed something, or we didn't know that we were not supposed to do anything. So this is very important. You have to choose the jurisdiction that you want to operate in, then get the right documentation, right licensing, have the right lawyers, right? So you actually maintain those things and make sure that, okay, as the law progresses and improves, you actually are on top of the industry and you know what's going on. Then we have the technology. The technology, what are the changes and main challenges in technology? So we have to choose a trading platform, but there are many trading platforms. Then find a liquidity provider, and those two are interconnected. So you have to make sure that, for example, the trading platform that you find is very important. Importantly, for example, desirable, it's easy to use, it's simple, and we'll get to those details as well. Then we have to find a liquidity provider that actually, for example, provides us with good conditions that are actually profitable for us and profitable for them as well. And they're just not thinking about one side of the partnership. Then we have to have a good back office. This is essential because if the communication between the servers and the front end is not good, especially in the fintech industry, it could lead us to some trouble. And finance. So it's mainly payment integrations and the cash flow, right? So these are the main challenges. In the cash flow, when what we speak about is like, okay, are we actually get clients? Do we have some cash to work with? Like, what is going on? Okay, let's get to the first mistake. One of the main mistakes is where I believe that most of the mistakes then will start and begin from is making a poor technological choice. What does that mean? So 10, 20 years ago, people might have been satisfied by simply having an opportunity to go on the internet and simply be able to trade on different platforms, right? And to be able to open positions and those kind of things. But the times have changed and the technology has evolved. What does it do for the users? The end user essentially now is not the same what it used to be, for example, 20 or 10 years ago. And the expectations of the users is different as well. So on the one side, we have to make sure that the platform is not just a trade room where people come and open positions and make their trades. It's actually a place that is very user-friendly, very intuitive, and very simple to use. Very important things, right? It sounds very simple. Okay, like everybody's probably speaking about those things today, but there are outdated solutions on the platform or in the industry that are still one of the main offerings of the industry, and this is what they think about when we speak about, for example, the MetaTrader, which is an extremely good tool, right? But the industry is evolving, and it is becoming they're not keeping up with the pace. So what that might lead to in let's say in a few more years, like if it's too hard to use, and for example, the younger generation is going to grow, and we get the younger and more younger users. How is that going to affect them? So they are used to a better user engagement, better user experience, and they're getting something that is 20 years old. It's not going to look good, and someone is going to make the changes, right? So what else do we have to keep in mind? So the platform has to be very engaging and very simple to use, but then it also has to have different features on the technological side that are very useful. For example, we would like to have, for example, integration and mobile applications available, because in some parts of the regions of the world, people mainly, or probably in all regions nowadays, most of the users are coming from the mobile phone as well, or at least are using both, right? It is very important. So you have like a trading platform that is not able to scale, and you are not able to provide a mobile application for them for it. And even if you, for example, cannot provide a mobile application, if you cannot offer for, let's say, PWA, an ability for the clients or for the users to view it from their mobile phone through browser, then you might be missing out on some stuff, right? And then we also have to think about what does a technology actually do for us on our side. So on one side, it's a user, but on the other side, we also need technology for ourselves, right? What do we need it for? We have different teams operating on the platform that are navigating it, right, and making sure that it's profitable. We have to make sure that it's easy for those guys, for our own teams, to get the right reports and right information out of those platforms, so they're better able to provide better conditions. They're on time with different kind of things. If we are having issues, there is no, for example, trouble finding our supports, and we ensure that the requests are instantly received and instantly handled, right? So we have to have different, for example, supports, dealing desk team, right, those kind of things. We have to have a good CRM system on the back end where we can actually gather all the data that is happening on the platform, so we can market the platform itself better and those kind of things. Now, when we speak about and mention marketing is typically done through ads, through those different things. But it is also important that our platform is marketable. What does it actually mean? So if I'm an influencer who is trying to actually sell the platform, or an affiliate who is trying to find a platform that it will be easier for me to drive the traffic to, well, it means a lot to me for my users to be able to easily understand like what's going on. If it's too complex and they're just, for example, seeing a reel on an Instagram or on a YouTube or TikTok, and like they have like 5 seconds to understand, like they probably are not going to get the full idea of what's going on. they're actually going to maybe try to understand something. It might seem too complex, and they're just going to skip on it, right? But if it's simple, when they say, for example, like, okay, this is the line that's moving, it's easy to comprehend, the interface is very friendly, they've seen something similar before, it's easier to sell, it's easier to use, and it's better for everyone, right? So it helps to the user engagement, user retainment, for marketing, so it's very important. Now, there might be other things that we can be able to do additionally besides offering our clients a place where they actually can trade, right? And open positions, closed positions. What can those things be? We can see, for example, on the trading terminal features on the slides, where you will be, for example, users might be able to go and participate in tournaments, for example, in trading tournaments that might be fun for them. It is not essential for making profit for us. It is not something that we are going to simply put there because, okay, we want to make as much money as possible. No, the idea behind it is that we actually try to serve our users and provide something that might be fun for them. They might not be interested in always to making and opening positions. They might be holding the certain position for a while. So, okay, they might be checking it, but what can they do in the meantime? And so it's just an additional tool, additional option for them, additional reason, most importantly, to come to the platform and to, let's say, which will help essentially with the better user engagement, with better user retainment as well, right? So we have a good retention, we have better engagement, and it is easier for us to build communities, right? So if I'm competing against some guy who's also a good trader, and it's not actually where we are making the money, that's the whole purpose. No, it's just for them to be, I don't know, something to do that is actually fun on the platform besides making trades and like opening like positions for that they're going to hold for a week or for a month or for longer period of time, right? Okay, now let's move to the next point. We have to keep in mind that everything that we're going to talk in the future, it is more or less connected to the poor technological choice. Essentially, it depends how poor of a choice we made, but it could damage us in many different fields potentially. So we'll go through those as well, right? Okay, now operating in an A-book model only. What does it mistake? Why that could be a mistake, and what is actually an A-book model? So, A-book model is essentially a model where you open a broker and you are acting as an intermediary between the users and liquidity providers. What does that mean? So, let's say I have a platform. I'm doing I know how to market my platform. I'm attracting the users. I got the users in my hand, and they are trading on my platform, opening positions. But actually, what I'm doing on the backside or the back end is that I'm not actually handling those trades. I'm just an intermediary. I'm taking a trade and I'm transferring it to someone else to handle. Who is that someone else? Typically, those are like bigger brokers or bigger banks. So those are called like liquidity providers. They are going to handle that trade. Why could that be a mistake? One, we would need an extremely big traffic to earn based on commissions. So how do A-book brokers make money? They based on commissions that they charge, right? So you will have like maybe spreads. You will have like swaps or net fees. So those kind of things that you will be making profit off of those. But we have to look at it and just judge it based on the ROI. Okay, I get a client and it costs me, let's say, $50 to get a client. What is going to happen is that if I'm not getting or making money on commissions, I'm going to be in trouble. What does that mean? So I'm paying $50 per client, and the only amount that I'm making is from commissions. It could be like $20, $30, $40, right? Now, what can I do here? There are a few ways that you can try to improve. One of them is like basically charge them higher commissions. But then what you're doing is that you're giving giving an opportunity to other companies in the industry to actually steal those clients by simply offering better commissions. And it's not a fight that you want to be involved in. It's not the best choice. Now, what else can you actually do? And in order to answer that question and avoid making this mistake, we can think about why do liquidity providers actually accept those trades? Like this is the main question. Why do these big banks, why do these big brokers are actually willing to take those open positions of different clients of ours? Why are they willing to do that? And I think that when we ask question that way and when we put it this way, I think it becomes very clear. Because at the end of the day, it is profitable for them. And at the end of the day, just simply most of the traders are probably going to make a mistake and they're going to make a profit. So when we look at it that way, like what can we do? if we handled those trades ourselves, if we had the capability to handle those trades ourselves, right, at least part of them, maybe we could be able to earn a lot more, right? So this is just something to think about. Instead of transferring the traffic that you have already acquired, which should be the hardest part, and then giving this opportunity to someone else, maybe you can actually do it by your own, right? So it changes dynamic a lot. And then instead of thinking on the commissions and providing worse commissions, instead of competing with a guy who is actually handling it themselves, and they're providing better commissions, but they are also making money themselves by handling the trades. And well, you're taking a bit of the risk, but you have the right team, you will be able to make money, which is the exact reason why the banks do it, right? Why the bigger guys do it. So at the end of the day, we should just try to be more like the big guys who have been in the industry and who are willing to accept the trades because they know that it's profitable. Well, we know it's profitable because they're accepting it from us. And if it were not, like, why would they do that? That's the question. And typically it is. Okay, then we should move to the next point, or the next mistake that we have to avoid. It's ineffective marketing. What could be an ineffective marketing? So we have different channels of marketing to reach our clients. If we are using one marketing channel only, first and foremost, like, different regions might require for you to use different marketing strategies. So let's say if you're hearing like from an owner of a platform, like who operates in South America or Europe, and you want to operate somewhere else, for example, in Asia or in the Middle East, the marketing strategies that they are using, for example, maybe ads, those kind of things, they might not be as successful for you. So you have to always keep in mind that what is going to work for your region and what you can offer to your and what can be your offering, right? So you can actually change your offering a bit, and you can change the marketing channel. So you have to use different ones. The popular ones are typically the affiliate marketing, right, and in-app promotions or those kind of things. But also you have to keep in mind, if a lot of users are coming from the mobile apps, you have to be able to use and track the traffic that is coming from there. And you, for example, if you're using a web browser and most of the users are coming through the browsers, you have to use, for example, Google Ads, right? So you have to, well, when you use Google Analytics, it's a bit different. When you use the default analytical tools for the mobile apps, it's a bit different. So it's a different skill set in the end that you have to have, besides having different and many, typically, the more the better, the marketing channels that you actually try to acquire clients. Why that can be a mistake? Simply because if we are using the same channel and we have been using for a while, and we are not following the trends, and the changes are taking place in the industry, we might be in trouble. And that is actually extremely bad. Unfortunately, I really hope that you are not hearing the voices of my neighbor who just decided to start renovations. Hopefully you can hear my voice still. And now, what is going to happen if we have or exhaust the same marketing channel? Okay, we are getting the clients, and we are trying to make as much money as possible. Now, what's going to happen in the end is that if we exhaust this marketing channel, the client acquisition is going to go up, and the amount of the money that we're making is going to stay the same. So, okay, we might be looking at the numbers, and they look kind of similar, but we're wasting a lot more on the marketing, and we are getting the same amount, making the same amount of profit that we used to make. So we are not keeping up with the expenses, and in the end, like, we will slowly but surely go down, right? Now, what we're going to do is that, besides acquiring a client, we would like to have different capabilities where, for example, the technological choices come into play. So if influencers are able to market our platform because it's very marketable by default, because it looks good, because it's easy and simple to use, that actually helps them. Then and in the end, it helps us. But then what we actually should have is that, okay, we have acquired a client. What we can do for those clients, we can have good SMS and email capabilities built in our CRM. And we know that, okay, we got this client, and what we can actually do is that we can provide them with the news, with different kind of offers, with different kind of bonuses to keep them engaged, and for us to be able to reach them as easily as possible, right? So actually, it helps with the retention, it helps with gathering the feedback, it helps simply to generate more profit and improve your platform based on the user experience and user feedback. Okay, next. It is mistake number 4, which is a poor dealing and anti-fraud. What is poor dealing and anti-fraud department, and what is going to happen there? Dealing desk, as we have previously briefly mentioned, is a team that manages your platform and creates conditions for your platform for trading, for opening and closing positions, and in the end, are going to lead to you making profit. But they're also responsible for many different things. Why is it important to have a good dealing desk team, and why you should always invest in a good dealing desk team? The reason is very simple. Let's say you are driving traffic. You have the marketing down, you have the technological choices down, and you are not like it's going extremely well, but you have poor dealing desk team. What can it do? You'll get someone who is actually going to cheat on the platform, who might actually try to cheat, and typically you will find those type of users. Unfortunately, it happens in most of the businesses. People will try to get an edge however they can, and if you don't manage, and if you don't have the good dealing desk team, and if they don't have the right tools, so if they don't have the right technology, they might not be able to identify those people and those users, and you might be starting losing a lot of money. We have had clients, for example, in the past that have come to us solely because of that reason. What does that do? You are running an operation, like you're getting like extremely good traffic. You know how to handle it. You think at least how you can handle it, but in the end, you don't have the dealing desk that is able to do that. And what happens is that you're losing money, a lot of money. You don't even know what you're paying for. So essentially, like when you find it out, like you basically are going to go down, and when you understand that, like it might be late. So you have the whole operation down. You just don't have the right guys to handle these trades, right? They don't know how to properly hedge. They don't know how to set the commissions and the profit rates properly, and those kind of things. And in the end, you're going to suffer. You have done everything. You have acquired clients. You have put money in marketing. You have put money in technology, and the guys that are supposed to handle trades, the guys that, for example, the good guys that you should have, that the big banks have, that the big liquidity providers have, if you don't have them and you don't handle the trades properly, like that's the end line. You're going to lose money. So that's very important. You should always invest. This is one place you cannot actually skip. And if you pay attention, like we are going steps about. So, for example, if you're making a mistake in a marketing, and if you're using a one marketing channel, or if you are using a few and you are not successful, it might not be a certain death or for your platform or for your business. But if you have poor dealing desk and anti-fraud departments who cannot filter the users that you don't want to serve, like you are going to have to be in trouble like very, very quickly. So there are mistakes that you can afford to make, and there are some that you don't really want to try to actually handle, because it might simply be impossible based on the amount of money that you're going to lose. So with marketing, you can adjust it. You can hire new influencers. You can try new marketing channels. You can see the statistics going down slowly or maybe going up. So you can actually see the trend, what's going on. But if you don't have the right dealing desk, it's going to happen quickly and it's going to be bad. So like this is a mistake that you cannot afford to make. Okay. Then we move to the next mistake, which could be even more important and even more scary, right? Or scarier than the dealing desk. What could be scarier than, for example, losing money on the client that you paid to acquire and the guys were not able to handle them? What could be scarier? The answer is very simple. Payment solution providers. Okay, what do the PSPs actually do? So if you don't find a legitimate, good payment solution provider, what is going to happen for your platform is that, okay, you have been working for a whole month. You have the great dealing desk. They're making profits. You have the great marketing setup. You have a great technology. You have everything is like as perfectly built as possible on your side. And then you connect the payment provider where actually most of the time money is kept. So when client deposits, you are not the one actually who handles the money in the beginning. The deposit, it goes to the payment solution provider, and it stays there for a while, right? Before you take out your profit. Typically, you don't want to do that because you'll be charged commissions, those kind of things. We don't want to get into the details, but what can happen is that if the guy is not legitimate, if he's not licensed, if they're not licensed, if they are not trustworthy, they can actually simply close the business. They have your money in the bag and just run away. And what happens is that, okay, you had all this operation costs, you made profit on paper, of course, and the money was simply kept with someone else because that's how the businesses operate. So you should be able to trust with your eyes closed to those guys, because they are the ones who actually hold your money, right? So you don't want them to leave. This is number one. So first and foremost, we want to trust them. So they don't run. Once we trust them, once we know that, okay, they're great guys, they're licensed, they have been on the industry for a while, then we can look at some other things. For example, the compliance, their integration capabilities, for example, house securities, their coverage, their reputation, those kind of things, because like people would like to deposit better. And then we have to, like, for example, how fast they process the payments, how fast they process the withdrawals, what kind of commissions do they charge, or are there any kind of conversions going on if I'm global, those kind of things, right? So these are very important, but they come second. First comes the reputation. First is the reputation. If they're trustworthy, okay, then we can look at some other things that are their fees, their commissions, how fast do they process, those kind of things. Very important. Okay, now these are the main 5 mistakes that we have to avoid. Now, what does that actually mean? So if we have great technology that is able to provide us with the information that we actually need on the platform, for example, meaning reports on the different performance of different financial instruments, on the users. So what do they prefer? What do they like? What do they not like? Where do we make profit? Where do we not make profit? Those kind of things. It actually makes a lot of difference, right? Then we are going to have to look at the marketing channels, which is very important. We have to look at the marketing. We have to assess the marketing properly, and we have to have different channels, different things. We have to always step on trends. We have to use all sources possible. We have to integrate different sources. We have to make, most importantly, our platform marketable for someone to want to actually trade on the market or on our platform, right? Then we have to also provide or have an extremely good dealing desk team that is going to ensure, surely going to handle the trades properly, and which means that we are not just running the A-book, but we actually are running some other types as well. For example, the hybrid, we are handling some of the trades ourselves. We are transferring some other types of trades to others, or we can handle all the trades ourselves. Who is going to provide us with this capability so we have actually better ROI? We don't just acquire clients, like get some commissions, and then transfer it to someone else that might not be able to make a lot of profit. No, we would like to have our own great team that we can trust, who can actually process the deals, and in the end, we will be able to make profit, right? So make the most out of our efforts of getting a client. And finally, we have to get a trustworthy payment solution provider who's actually not going to, first and foremost, who has a good reputation, who has been on the market for a while, who we can trust, who is going to allow us to deposit and withdraw the funds for our users extremely fast, and they have a global coverage. So in case we want to go global, they actually have other different payment gateways that they can offer us that we can integrate. So there are no issues, right? These are the main five things that we have to avoid. And okay, now I'll just do a brief promotion of our product. But what we do is that typically all those services that I went through, they are what different kind of brokers are going to sell you, because, well, essentially like different firms, like this is where the money is made. So you don't just have to get, for example, the platform itself. You have to pay for different things. What you might be paying for and what you will need, right? So we discussed what mistakes you should avoid, but there are like things that you have to purchase first. So the things are, for example, the setup for the platform itself. Typically, this means the setup of the trading platform. Then you have to have the mobile applications for the platform. And all these things, all these types of things are typically going to cost you money. You can briefly take a look and see like what are the monthly fees that will be charged. Our offering is a bit different. If you're interested, you can get in touch. We typically provide everything in the same place, so there is no reason to go and pay monthly payments for something else. We just like to keep it as simple as possible. We've developed many platforms, and we found out that, okay, this is the best way. So there are no integrations with different things, no bugs, no kind of things. It's easy to start. Okay, so there are different packages. You can take a look for mobile applications, for turnkey solution, for advanced package, those kind of things. You can take a look at those. And finally, now is the time for you to, if you have any questions, you can write them in the comments. You can write them in the questions, and you can also see the QR code for my Telegram. You can see my email there as well. If you have any questions, please, it's time to start now.